was pretty pointless in terms of actually comparing the guns, I should say. But what we have here, guys, is a comparison. We're going to be talking about the Shield versus the Glock 43. I typically don't do comparison videos, but this one simply has had overwhelming demand from the audience, so we are going to get into it. We're going to get into the differences between these guns, pros and cons of each in different categories, and let you guys decide which one you want. First off, let's get into the big one. The first one's going to be price. Price on these ones is going to vary. Generally speaking, Shields, depending on where you go, are going to be anywhere in the $350 to $450 category. A lot of times, if you look online, you can find them around $350 or under. So that's certainly a good price, and the Shield is an excellent gun, which we've talked about many times here on the channel before. The Glock currently is a relatively new gun, and they're generally going in the $400 to $500 range. Sometimes online you're going to be more expensive than that just due to demand, but that's probably going to settle down. And I expect to see them generally in the $400 to $450, $480 range. So no doubt about it, in terms of price, the Shield has the advantage. Now let's talk about capacity. Standard capacity for the Shield is that it's going to come with a 8 and 7 round mag. So the 7 round mag is flush fitting, and the Glock's going to come with a 6 round mag. So total capacity here is going to be 7. Total capacity here with factory mags is either going to be 8 or 9. So in terms of overall capacity, the Shield is going to get the edge. No doubt about it. It is what it is. But in terms of size, the Glock is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit lighter as well. The Glock unloaded is going to be 3 ounces lighter than your Shield. So yeah, nothing is for free in terms of capacity and size and stuff like that. So the Shield also, oddly enough, sort of is longer in the grip due to the capacity, which you'd expect, but it's actually shorter in the barrel. The barrel, take a good look at it there, is going to be 7 millimeters longer on the Glock 43. So you're going to get a little bit more velocity out of it. Not sure how much difference that's actually going to make in the real world, but it's worth noting in these compact guns where you're trying to get all the velocity that you can get. These guns are marketed largely as concealed carry guns. However, they're also marketed to a lot of new shooters, particularly female shooters, as cute and concealable guns. So we've talked about the problems with that before here in the channel. Generally, new shooters that aren't all that proficient, are going to want to look for a larger gun that's easier to shoot well and is going to have less recoil just to the overall mass being better. So between these guns, let's talk about Recoil Impulse. So we'll take a few shots with each. The entire test today, we're going to be using Minuteman Munitions 115 grain ammo, so it's going to be standardized across the board. And we'll take a few shots and see just sort of what the recoil looks like on camera, and then I'll try to give you my perceptions of each. So that's the Shield. The Shield has a reputation as being one of the most shootable single stack, or this one's really a 1.5 stack, if you will, guns out there. It's extremely shootable. It's earned that reputation for a good reason. Now we'll take a few shots with the Glock 43, same exact ammo, and we'll see what we get. Of note, I'm using the flat base plate, which I think is what most people are going to use in a concealed carry role, so we're going to do that throughout the video. And same thing, flush mag with the Shield. Okay, so just my personal impressions here shooting the two. To me, the Shield feels like a slightly softer shooting gun. Now, that's very easily explainable. It's heavier, and it has the larger grip surface to grip onto. When comparing the actual grips themselves, the Shield is a little bit wider, so it's going to give you more surface there, and it's also going to disperse the energy coming back into your hands over a wider surface. So that's going to help with the recoil impulse, as well as, like we talked about, that larger slide mass moving. So that is true. That said, the texture on this one and the Glock definitely sticks to your hand a little bit better. The Shield factory surface there is not very tacky, which is actually, if you look at my gun, we actually put the Talon grip tape or Talon grips on there because it does help the gun stick to your hand a little bit more and give you a little bit more texturing. So the advantage in terms of soft shooting or recoil impulse, we're going to give that one to the Shield. Getting into some of the things that you're actually going to see on the gun, the controls of each are almost identical. If you take a look at them there, basically you have your trigger safety, which each has just in a different manner. The Shield has that little hinge trigger, versus the Glock has the trigger safety, which has to be depressed for it to come back. So they're both accomplishing relatively the same thing there. The slide release or slide lock is going to be similar on both. The Shield is a little bit beefier, easier to work with your thumb. And the mag release on each is probably equivalent, about even in terms of using that mag release to get your mag out and get the new one in. So on all of those things, we're pretty even. In terms of actually manipulating this slide, I'm going to tell you that the Shield has an advantage in terms of the serrations on the back of the slide are much more effective. They give you a better gripping surface to run that slide. However, again, just one man's opinion here, the Glock 43 slide is easier to manipulate. Again, that's going to be another thing that's important to new shooters, female shooters, shooters with weak hands, maybe arthritis, things like that. So in terms of what you find on the gun, it's going to be pretty similar, though. All the controls are going to be on the left side. Some of them are reversible, but nothing on the right side of the pistol, so you lefties are still sort of looking for that answer in terms of ambidextrous controls for you guys. One thing of note, this Shield here does not have the safety on there. I do have a Shield with the safety, also one without it, and I personally prefer no safety, but the Shield gives you the option of a safety. Some people really like safeties for kids, for habits, from 1911 shooters, whatever the case may be. If you want an external safety, the Shield's going to win that one. It's just how it is, because the Glock does not offer that option. The big question everybody has is going to be reliability. Now, really, at this point, I can't comment too much on the Glock 43 other than to say that initial reports that I've seen out there across the internet are really positive. Mine as well have been really positive. We're just past 250 rounds, so not a ton with this gun, and it's been 100% reliable without issue. Now, Shields for guns of this type, in terms of concealable, single stack, 1.5 stack, whatever you want to call them, guns, has built a reputation as one of the, if not the most reliable. So at this point, Glock reliability for the Glock 43 looks good. However, the Shield is a known quantity. I absolutely do trust my life to the Shield. From time to time, I carry it. And without question, the Shield has a good reputation for it. The Glock may get there. At this point, April 2015, I can't say, though, that we're going to put the Glock in the same category as the Shield. However, talk to me in 5 months, it very well may be there. So right now, if you just wanted to buy one and expect reliability out of it, the Shield probably has a better track record. However, the Glock is moving in that direction. One other thing I wanted to mention here before getting into the accuracy testing is going to be sights. So here on the Shield, we have aftermarket sights, whereas on the Glock, we have the standard plastic sights. It should be noted that both pistols are offered with different sight options. So the Shield is offered with 3-dot sights, which are steel sights from the factory, non-illuminated, and they're also offered with night sight options, which are just basically 3-dot night sights. So both of those are going to be high quality sights, steel sights that work well, and there's no issues with them at all. Glock's going to be offered with the plastic sights here, which I personally don't like. They tend to not be very durable. I don't like the sight picture. However, that may vary by person. Some of you guys may love it. And the Glock is also available with factory night sight options made by Meprolite, and they're very good sights. So they offer both of those there, but in terms of factory sight options, particularly in the base model, we're going to have to give the edge to the Shield. The steel sights, the 3-dot picture is going to be what most people are going to prefer, and the polymer Glock sights, I really just don't like them. I've had bad luck with them in the past, and really one of the first things I do when I get a Glock that I'm going to use for personal protection is swap those sights out. So sight edge is going to go to the Shield, but what we're going to do next is load it up, get it on a bench, and see how those sights with this guy behind them can actually do. Here's the conditions of the test. We have a target downrange at 15 yards. A lot of people say you shoot 25, whatever. For guns like this, I'd say 15 is probably a little bit more appropriate and a longer shot than most folks will ever take anyway. Minuteman munitions, 115 grain ammo. We got 5 rounds of each for each gun. Unfortunately, we have upgraded sights on the Shield here, which may give it an advantage. These are the Ameriglows here, so they may give it an advantage. I don't know. We do have upgraded sights coming in, I believe, from Ameriglow as well for the Glock 43 that we'll try down the road in that review, so you can see that. But what we're going to do here is just put the rounds down range and see what happens, see what kind of results we can get. I may be a factor in the testing, as always, so take it for what it's worth, guys. And this certainly isn't match-grade ammo or anything like that. So let's do it. Enough gabbing. We're going to go top left first. All right, not great, not terrible. Again, guys, this is not defensive ammo, so who knows what kind of accuracy we're going to get out of it. Well, we're doing a dirt test here with the Glock, inadvertently, I might add. Definitely got some dirt in there, but we'll see how it runs. We'll go bottom left. One thing I should point out that definitely 100% is in the Glock's favor is the trigger. The Glock 43, in my opinion, has a much better trigger than the Shield. The Shield has a good trigger. It breaks right around 7 pounds, but it is a little bit gritty and creepy. There's just no getting around that. It has smoothed out some over time, but straight from the factory, by all means, the Glock has a better trigger. This one here breaks right around 5 pounds, or just over 5 pounds, I should say. It was initially 6. It's starting to smooth out. We measured it yesterday. It's just over 5. So it's a better trigger in terms of pull weight, and the reset, though, on the Shield is a little bit better. So pros and cons there, but in terms of accuracy testing like we're doing here, the Glock's going to have the edge in terms of trigger. So let's get to it and see what kind of accuracy we can get with these sights. We're going to go bottom right. As I'm sitting there bragging on the trigger, I thought it felt a little heavy. That may be the dirt, though, that just got in there. That trigger did start to feel heavy after that first round. Yeah, that's 100% what it is. We got some dirt in there, right in the trigger mechanism in the back. Oh well, let's go check that target out. The big takeaway from this accuracy test, in my opinion, is that both guns are perfectly accurate for self-defense shooting. Again, we're shooting at 15 yards here, and the groups are not all that bad. So we had a 3.5-inch group with the Shield. Again, a lot of that could be me and not match ammo. Over here, a little bit tighter with the Glock. That was 2.5 inches. Scratch that, right about 2 3/4 inches. So a little bit tighter, but they're pretty darn close. And really, if we throw some match ammo in there, we'll see those groups tighten up for sure. So definitely, again, both pistols are plenty combat accurate. All right, so you guys are probably watching this asking, which one should I get? Which one should I get? Tell me, Mike, tell me. So I don't know is the answer. Really big differences are going to be triggers a little better on this one. It's a little bit smaller, but it's a little bit more expensive. It definitely doesn't have the track record that the Shield has. It doesn't have the option for safety, which I know is important to some folks out there. And it's going to have a little bit more of a recoil impulse. That said, it's a Glock. There will be a ton of accessories coming out for it, just like there already is for the Shield. So the answer is I don't know, guys. What I will say is that the emergence of sort of concealed carry 9mm pistols that can be thought of as reliable fighting guns, if you will. For those of you that watch my Shield review, you guys know that's exactly what I said about it. I said it is about the smallest fighting gun in terms of the feel of it. Like when you go shoot a Glock 17, for instance, or a CZ75, they feel like guns that you're going to take into combat. These guns, these smaller guns, a lot of them like the Cars or some of the others like Rugers, in my opinion, just one man's opinion here, those don't feel as robust. The Shield does, the XDS does, and the PPS does, and now we're going to add the Glock 43 to that. They do feel like sort of fighting guns, if you will, albeit with much less capacity. So I don't know which one you should get is the bottom line, but both seem like good contenders for somebody who wants either a backup gun or a a low capacity concealed carry gun. If you guys have any questions that we didn't answer in the video, by all means post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. If you want to put your comment below as to which gun you prefer and why, by all means do that, and you guys can go down there and argue amongst yourselves. Maybe I'll chime in as well. But that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, you just found this video, please go ahead and subscribe. And we hope to see you guys in the next video.